Hello everyone, this is Doctor Whovian Reviews. Welcome to my review of Doctor Who Doom Coalition 1 by Big Finish Productions. Big Finish Productions is a company that makes top-of-the-line audio dramas based off of Doctor Who, Torchwood, and other very popular television shows. In the description of this video is a link to their website. Before I start this review, I would like to request that you check out my GoFundMe page for this channel. The link is in the description below. On the top of the cover is the name of the four main actors that are in this box set. You have Paul McGann, who plays the 8th Doctor, Nicola Walker, who plays companion Liv Chinka, Hattie Morahan, who plays new companion Helen Sinclair, and Mark Bonnar, who plays the main threat of this box set, the 11. On the cover you have the 11, the 8th Doctor, Helen Sinclair, and Liv Chinka. Liv Chinka, who was introduced into the 8th Doctor in the Dark Eyes range of audio dramas, is the longest running companion in Big Finish history, with 29 stories as of 2018. In the background, you have the ancient asteroid that story number 4, the Satanic Mill, takes place on, as well as the sun, with a lot of Gallifreyan symbols in the background. On the side, you have Doctor Who Doom Coalition 1, with a very good picture of Mark Bonnar's 11 on the side, with the number 1. Signifying that this is the first box set in a series of 4 box sets. On the top of this box set, you have the 8th Doctor and the 11 and the title of the box set once again. On the back of this box set, you have the 4 stories listed that are in this box set. They are the 11 by Matt Fitton, the Red Lady by John Dorney, the Galileo Trap by Mark Platt, the Satanic Mill by Edward Collier, and the whole box set is directed by Ken Bentley, who is a regular Big Finish director. Before talking about the stories in this box set, I would like to discuss each of the main characters, starting with the 8th Doctor. The 8th Doctor, as portrayed by Paul McGann, is great as always. In these stories, he is recovering from the events of his past, but you do not have to listen to those past stories to understand this series of box sets. It will just enhance your enjoyment of the box set, but once again, they are not required. Every time I listen to McGann's Doctor, I wish more and more that he had his own TV series. McGann only appeared once in a 1996 TV movie that was an effort to revamp Doctor Who by Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, or the CBC. They work with the BBC. McGann's Doctor is a warm and welcoming Doctor with the elements of other incarnations that we all know and love, such as his excessive tinkering abilities and his charming personality that helps get him and his companions out of a lot of issues. His companion Liv Chinka is also very good and has very efficient chemistry with the 8th Doctor. Liv appeared in a main range story entitled Robophobia, where she was alongside Sylvester McCoy's 7th Doctor. Liv was once again introduced to the Doctor, although in his 8th incarnation, in the Dark Eyes story The Traitor. There she went on to become one of his most loyal and valued companions. They have been traveling with each other at this point for a while now and have grown to be great friends. Later in this box set, Liv almost acts like a mentor to new companion Helen Sinclair after her introduction in the 2nd story of this box set, The Red Lady. In this series, we get introduced to new companion Helen Sinclair, like I said before. Helen is very progressive and independent as a woman, and she does not take the word no or any crap from any man, woman, or alien that she comes across in her travels with the Doctor and Liv. The producers of this box set based Helen's character off the original Doctor Who creator Verity Lambert from 1963, and it really shows in this box set. The last character I will discuss is Mark Bonner's 11. The 11 is an evil Time Lord that suffers from a condition that causes all his past 10 incarnations to be trapped in his head like split personality syndrome. The 11 is one of the best villains, in my opinion, that Big Finish have written to date. I will now go on to discuss the stories of this box set, starting with The 11. The 11 by Matt Fitton. On the cover of this CD, you have Mark Bonner's 11, the 8th Doctor, and Liv Chenka, with the Stellar Manipulator, a device that is very key to the series arc of this box set, with the same Gallifreyan symbols and explosions in the background. On the banner, you have Doctor Who, Paul McGann and Nicola Walker, and Doom Coalition 1, The 11, by Matt Fitton, with Paul McGann's face on the cover. You've got featuring Mark Bonner, Robert Bathurst, Ramon Tikaram, and Caroline Langrish. On the back, you have The 11, Matt Fitton, and Ken Bentley. I will give you a moment to read the synopsis of this disc. If you need more time, pause the video at this point. This is the cast of this box set, of this story in the box set, and the running time is 60 minutes approximately. On the inside you have the disc, and you have an advertisement for the 4 stories in the Dark Eyes series. On the left you have the booklet, which says Doom Coalition 1, The 11. On the inside of the booklet, you have a picture of Paul McGann, an advertisement for Doctor Who magazine, and the writer's notes for this story. I will now talk about the story, The 11. The 11. In The 11, the Doctor and Liv are called to Gallifrey after a dangerous Time Lord criminal known as the 11 escapes during an interview with an Academy student. This story is a proper Gallifrey story, much like The Invasion of Time and The 5 Doctors. In this story, we get introduced to the character of Padrak, who is an old friend of the Doctor's from his days at the Time Lord Academy. Padrak teases the Doctor about his Academy days, and he has a very good scene with Liv when discussing the Doctor's past companions. Padrak is the first character that has really sat down with Liv and discussed the Doctor's past and the Doctor himself with Liv. Although she understands the Doctor very well, she does not understand fully that he has traveled with people before her. This story is non-stop action and has excellent pacing. We learn about the 11's backstory, and we discover who he is as a person, and we see each one of his 10 personalities. There is proper suspense and proper thrills in moments where you really don't know what is going to happen next. There's a very tense moment between the 11 and Liv that really had me thinking that something bad was going to happen to Liv. Overall, I will give the 11 a 10 out of 10. The next story I will discuss is story number 2, The Red Lady. Here's the cover of The Red Lady. You've got Paul McGann's 8th Doctor and Hattie Morahan's new companion Helen Sinclair, with a picture of the Red Lady on a stone tablet, once again with Gallifreyan symbols and a backdrop of the British Museum. You have the banner that has Paul McGann, an added name which is Hattie Morahan, who plays Helen, and Nicola Walker is Liv. Doom Coalition 1, The Red Lady by John Dorney, with Paul McGann's face, this time in green, featuring David Yelland. On the back, you have a little cut of the story with The Red Lady, written by John Dorney, directed by Ken Bentley. Here is the synopsis for this story if you would like to pause the video and read it. Here is the cast of this story, and it is 60 minutes approx. On the inside, you have the disc, and behind the disc you have an advertisement for Unit Extinction, which is a review that will be coming up very soon. Next to the CD is Doom Coalition 1, The Red Lady. On the inside of the box set, on the inside of the cover is a picture of Hattie Morahan, an advertisement for Doctor Who magazine, and another set of writer's notes, this time by John Dorney. In this story, the Doctor and Liv land in 1960s London, where we are introduced to new companion Helen Sinclair. Helen is a historian that is trying her best to get a promotion, but is turned away because of her age and gender. This story is written by John Dorney, who is a Big Finish regular and who is responsible for some of their best work to date. This story is no exception. This story won a BBC award for Best Audio Story of the Year when it was released. The Red Lady is a slower, fast-paced story with a small horror element added to it. The Red Lady is a wonderful villain that is very creepy and very atmospheric in nature, and who is responsible for most of the horror elements of this story. The way that the Doctor deals with her is unique and unlike anything ever seen before. The supporting characters are wonderful, and the music score adds a touch of greatness to the scenes. The way that Helen joins the TARDIS crew is also unique and is a very interesting method that I hope is elaborated on in future stories. The Ark of the 11 is only touched upon in the beginning and end of this story, where in the beginning the Doctor lands in 1960s London after he gets a trace of a device that was stolen by the 11. Overall, I give The Red Lady a 10 out of 10.